All right, guys, this is Krazy Kev here, and I'm here with the one, the only Alana Cook. Alana, how are we doing?
Great, man. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, no problem at all. And now, you got a fight coming up with CFFC. I mean, talk to us a bit more about this matchup and, how training's kind of going for this fight here.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I'm really excited to fight for CFFC. I have once before, I took a short notice fight with them. So it's really nice just to have a full camp and really just mentally prepare and get ready for that fight. I've gone through periods where like I'm fighting all the time, and I'm going through periods where like it's hard to find a fight. So ultimately, in the craziest of fight camp, I try to stay really grateful that I have a fight and remember it's almost like a little bit like feast or famine, right? Like sometimes it's like go, go, go. And then sometimes it's like, oh my gosh, like let's get things going, right? So CFFC is a huge organization, and the fight's in Atlantic City, which is so cool. Like that's kind of the thing, you always think about like, hear about the big time boxers in the olden days fighting in Atlantic City, so it's pretty cool to think of myself that I get to be there in the casinos and doing that, just like, the big names that have always done.
Yeah, no, it's definitely going to be an awesome atmosphere for sure. I'm also going to be watching this one live, so I'm excited to watch you compete as well. And so with that being said as well too, I mean, talk to us a bit more about your training camp. I mean, how are you kind of feeling with this camp, and what are you kind of doing to get prepared for this one here?
Yeah, well, like at this point, it's a well-oiled machine, right? Every camp's got a different flavor to it, I guess. But ultimately, like the bones still stay the same. I'm doing all my training at Niagara Top Team. Doing a lot of striking, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, strength and conditioning, kickboxing, Muay Thai. Just we try to really leave no stone unturned. And an opponent can always surprise you, right? So even if you prepare for a certain type of style, like you might get in there and go like, oh, like this is not what I expected. So I think it's really important to cover all the bases, right? From I love drilling the basics. Honestly, I love doing really, really simple stuff and just getting those reps in, because people can always surprise you. So I think the important thing is I focus on what I'm going to do, not too much on what they're going to go do. So, my style has evolved. I've definitely become more well-rounded in the past year. But yeah, kind of keeping it the same. Just always cool to see the new levels you get to in every fight camp.
Yeah, no, definitely. And like I said, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing this fight, because CFFC is definitely a good promotion. And now with that being said too, I mean, with you being from like Canada and everything like that, talk us a bit more about like the travel. What's it going to be like to kind of go to Atlantic City, and when are you going to kind of get there? Talk to us a bit more about that.
Yeah, so my coaches and my partner and I were going to drive out, I think, on Tuesday, and I like to get there early. No stress, no rush. Let's just get there, like see the city a bit, right? Like that's one of the cool things about fighting and getting off the regional scene is you get to see the new places. And while I'm cutting weight, I love to. Well, I say get out in nature, but it's pretty busy out there. But maybe go out on the boardwalk and just see the sights and just be grateful. I think sometimes it's really easy to get tunnel vision and just focus on the fight, but you got to also, appreciate the moments and even the things that maybe feel a bit uncomfortable or feel a bit unusual, just really embracing it. And it's all going to be memories, right? It's all good experience. If you cannot tell, like that's something that I really focused on the past couple of years, definitely is gratitude. I used to get really overwhelmed and really anxious about winning and performing. And now I find the more I've learned to kind of let go of that, the better I actually do. So like when I'm going, I'm like, like there's so much to be grateful for. There's so much cool shit I get to do as an MMA fighter. Like I like to think like, me as a kid would be so stoked by the things that I'm doing now. So really just taking it all in and appreciating it and having fun in there.
Yeah, no, I definitely think having fun is definitely important, and I'm glad you've been enjoying your journey so far. And now speaking about your journey, I mean, how long do you think it could potentially take to make it to like the next level, like the UFC or something along those lines now after this fight?
Well, I'm #1 in Canada right now on the regional scene when the rankings were updated. So those are always kind of like up in the air, you know what I mean? But it's still cool to see that. I try not to have too many expectations. For me, it's never been about like getting to the UFC. Like, would that be amazing? Absolutely. But I think when my goal is just be the best fighter I can be and see how far I can take it, that's it's a lot more fulfilling that way. I would love to fight for like a big promotion in Europe, like Octagon or a KSW. I think that would be really, really cool as well. But the UFC, it's too bad PFL doesn't have a bantamweight division, because that's another really great organization. Maybe they should get that. But yeah, hopefully within the next year or two, I think with a really great performance at CFFC, I could possibly get the call for Contender Series. As a female bantamweight, my record would be 6-2, which is right around, they like seeing 5-0, 5-1, 6-2, 7-2. So definitely, I'd love to, throw my name in the hat and be a contender for that. So just trying to stay humble and one fight at a time. But you know what, like the sky's the limit right now, man.
Yeah, no, I definitely would agree. I definitely think, that's realistic for sure as well with you potentially going on Contender Series after this fight. And now with that being said, I mean, you mentioned a little bit about your weight class. Talk to us a little bit more about, the weight cut. How's everything kind of going with this training camp and this fight here for the weight cut?
Yeah, so I worked with the same nutritionist for all my pro fights. His name is Sean Wick, so he goes as the diabetic fighter. And we take kind of a cool approach to weight cutting. So I'm not diabetic myself, but we look at more blood sugar control. So I think that everyone's always like, you need so many carbs when you're fighting weight, but or fighting and wanting to cut weight. But like we really do a lot of like food timing and maximizing our protein. So like for the bantamweight division, like I think I am quite muscular especially like when I cut weight, and that's something that I hold on to a lot of muscle. Whereas I feel like I've seen some girls in the past, they do have to unfortunately lose muscle to make that weight. I know that I'm a true bantamweight. I remember one fight I tried to make 130 and I just kept getting injured. Like it just wasn't happening. So there's that confidence in knowing like that this is where my body performs the best. And I would say, it's just part of the journey, right? It's what did one fighter call it? It's like a snake shedding its skin. So it's cool to see, you kind of, the lower you go, the lower you go. I'm like, man, I feel so hungry, but look at these abs. So just enjoying the little parts of that, right? So weight cut in a new city. So I was actually just on the phone with Miranda Granger from CFFC. So just making sure that everything's there, that I'm comfortable, able to get this weight cut done safely and healthy. I have never missed weight. Very big personal pride for that. So yeah, very excited to get in there and and look good.
Yeah, no, I'm glad everything's been going smoothly for you. I'm definitely glad that's everything's on track. And now with that being said, I mean, you've talked a little bit about experiencing a lot of cool things like on the regional scenes, whether you're traveling to new places and things like that. With that being said, what was maybe the favorite place that you maybe seen so far in your career, and also maybe even what was maybe your favorite fight as well?
Oh gosh, I would say my pro debut was really, really cool. It was in Calgary, and I think it's because I had no expectations. I think that's the thing when you expect a lot, or compare it, comparison's the thief of joy. Then you start saying like, oh, it was better last time, or oh, this was worse last time. But for me, it was all brand new. And, I got to meet Chris Cyborg. I had my first time cutting to 135 and made it. I had a beautiful debut, with my team and my best friend and my partner with me. And I got a finish, which was super exciting. I was the first woman to get a finish for the PAW FC League. And I think that, maybe a few fights ago, after that, I kind of lost a little bit of that appreciation for the process. Again, I started to kind of compare things and contrast. And I think a big thing for me is just remembering that, like, even if it's new, like it's exciting, like it's fresh, it's things that, again, like little Alana would never have been able to do. So I think this is going to be a very special fight. I have a very good feeling about it. I like to do, I don't know if you've seen me fight before, but I like to do like a different outfit. That's my little diva flair right there. I like to have like a different color for every fight. And I like to feature different Indigenous artists for every fight. So the color for this one, the outfit is ready. It's in production right now. So I'm really excited I'm always excited to wear that and to feel fun and represent, my Indigenous community on the big stage. And yeah, I think I got away from your question there. Sorry, but it's there's a lot going on, and I'm excited for this one. I feel like this is going to be something special. Definitely. Yeah. Just, I've been merely manifesting for a while. Like while BTC, the fight league here has been so good to me in Ontario. They brought in a UFC vet for me for my last fight. I would actually say that was a very, very special fight too, because I got to fight a UFC vet. Like, how cool is that? And, she was a black belt. She came in 10 pounds overweight, and I still, went out there and, had one of the fights of the year according to the promotion and got the win. And I was named fighter of the year. So, it's all been a really awesome experience, but I think this one's going to be something special.
Yeah, no, I definitely would agree. And like I said, that was a great fight as well. The fight with Vanessa as well. So I'm glad you brought that one up as well. And now, when it comes to your outfit, I mean, I know, I understand. You might not want to give it away too much, but any hints on maybe what we could expect to see here at the end of March here?
Well, it's kind of fun to like. I've worked with her name is Evelyn Alec, and so she's a silks designer in British Columbia, and she designed my Alanimal logo for me. And like I've always felt like the mountain lions really, like my animal, like something that I really embody. It's kind of where I got the nickname Alanimal too. So the girl I'm fighting, her nickname is the giraffe. So I'm kind of playing on that little bit too, like Alanimal hunting the giraffe. So we're going to see something very, maybe a little bit jungle themed or a little bit hunting themed. So going to have some fun with that.
Nice, nice. No, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing it then, because like I said, I'm going to be at this one live, so I'll definitely be on the lookout for it. And now, with that being said, too, I mean, obviously, I know you're very focused in your training camp right now, but I mean, talk to us a bit more about what you kind of like to do outside the cage when you're not in there training and fighting.
It's so funny because there's lots of different types of people in this world. I'm definitely a little bit more type A. And I remember when I first started working with like a sports counselor, he was like, well, what do you do for fun? And I was like, MMA is all there is. And, it's funny when you're very goal oriented, you got to almost, it's like scheduling time for fun, as stupid as that sounds. But sometimes like my boyfriend and I will literally make plans to do nothing. I'm like, yo, do you want to do nothing on Saturday? And he's like, yeah, okay. I'm like, perfect. So if someone's like, hey, what are you doing on Saturday? I'm like, oh, I've got plans. And the plan is to do nothing. So, but I feel like if I make it a scheduled plan, then I stick to it. I try to be present a lot, because I feel like a lot of the time, I'm on social media, I've been trying to do a lot more social media, because that is something the big organizations look at. I'm doing my PhD in kinesiology, so that takes a lot of studying, a lot of writing, a lot of brain power. Obviously, being an MMA fighter, I own my own small business, Walking Like Warrior Self-Defense. So when I can get a break from all of that, I really like just being outside and going for a walk with my dog. Maybe watching some trashy TV where I can just like shut off my brain. I really like cooking. That's something I have a sweet tooth. So I really like coming up with like different, like kind of healthy, like sweet recipes to like kind of like trick my brain. So I'm like, oh, this is just like a cheesecake, even though it's egg whites with cinnamon. So I'm just trying to fool myself. And traveling, in my off time, if I get a chance to, I went to Thailand last year with my team, which was awesome. I love Thailand. I was in Mexico early this year with my family and my boyfriend. So that's always something that really fills my cup. But yeah, it's a busy, busy life, but you know what, you can't complain that your plate's too full when you're the one who filled it, and it's all good things on there. So I really appreciate that.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you definitely been enjoying life outside the cage as well. And now, when you mentioned going to Thailand, I know a lot of fighters speak very highly of Thailand. I mean, what was your experience kind of like? What did you kind of learn over there? I mean, talk a bit more about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So I actually lived in Thailand 10 years ago on Koh Phangan, and that's where I had my first ever fight. Was like a Muay Thai fight out there, and that's what bit me. That's what gave me the itch, because I won by TKO in the second round, and it was like, oh my God, this is awesome. This is so fun. And then, so I went back last January. So like on Niagara Top team, Jasmine Jazdavicius, she's my teammate. She wanted to go out there and train a bit before her fight in Saudi Arabia. So my coach, Matt Jelly went, she went, a couple of my teammates went, my friend and teammate Joe Collette, we went and we got a place together. Tisha Guthrow, and then the coaches, D. Marks and Prickett came. We went to Bangtao Muay Thai, which was really cool. I think one of the cool things about a place when it starts to develop as a hub, it also attracts, all the fighters. So we were going there and we were getting like different looks all the time. There was people in the UFC that were there. There was people that, are big names in Russia that like I maybe had never heard of just because, like different scenes, but it's so cool to get all those different looks. And then also see that I can hang with people all over the world when we're sparring. So that was a huge confidence builder for me.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely glad Thailand went pretty cool. I didn't know that about you living over there, so it's definitely cool. Cool story on how you kind of got into fighting. And another thing I want to ask you. I know speaking about your confidence. I mean, you just mentioned fighting a former UFC vet. What was that kind of like? To get the opponent in Vanessa and get that big win and everything like that as well.
Yeah, that was definitely an emotional journey. So like I was coming off a loss. I took like a short notice fight with CFFC, and I lost the fight. I got finished, which I had never been finished before in any of my fights. So it really sucks. It really sucks to lose, and I was pretty sad for a couple days. And I realized that I'd been relying too much on my wrestling in all my fights because that's what got me all my wins. And I kind of neglected my boxing and like my striking. And I was always kind of like, you know what, whatever, I can do this. And I fought a girl who was like 6 feet tall, and I just like, she was so hard to catch. And like she fought a great fight. And it really just woke me up. And I was like, you know what, like if you wanna win, it's evolve or die. You gotta keep growing. So I started working my boxing like 3 days after the fight. I started doing privates, and I was like, I'm going to do this until I love it. I'm just going to like force myself to love boxing. And you know what? It like took 2 months, and then I was really enjoying myself, and I was starting to appreciate it and learning how to mix it up with my wrestling. And then, when BTC was like, hey, we've got someone, it's a former UFC vet. This is a tough fight, but Alana, if you win this, like this really puts your name back into the conversation. Like this could be something that helps make your career. And we took it. And when I went there, it was a very, very boxing heavy fight, and I won. So that was really cool for me because it also kind of proved it to myself that, like, fuck, I can do anything. I can really do anything I set my mind to. And I'd had a lot of fear, I guess, around just trying to win the fight on my feet, and I just let that go, and that felt so good, and I felt very free in there. So I honestly, as they were going and announcing the decision, I was like, you know what, like I kind of realized, even if like I lost this fight, I was like, I gave it all I had, and I'm proud of myself, and I won, which is like even better. So I'm really proud of how that happened, and I think that really awoke something in me. So yeah, getting ready for this fight, it's been really cool because I haven't, like, definitely that last fight camp, I had to really focus on this. Whereas now, feeling very well rounded and everything, I'm able to just to kind of nail everything down. And yeah, it's been a fun camp so far.
Yeah, no, it definitely sounds like a great experience, and I'm glad you were able to improve your game after that short notice fight, like you mentioned. And yeah, it's been awesome talking to you. I really appreciate you taking the time. What's maybe your final message out there to the fans watching this video?
Oh gosh, just have fun, guys. Like I myself, like this is something I struggle with. So maybe I'll watch this back next time I'm having a breakdown. So hey, Alana, this is future Alana talking to you. Just have fun, man. Like, again, you're a professional athlete. How cool is that? How many people get to say in their life that they were a professional MMA fighter? You get to do stuff you love every day. And, win or lose, you're going to have fun in there. I'm really excited for this fight. I visualize it. I can see it under the bright lights, and I think this is going to be something special. So for everybody out there, please tune in. I would love to have you watching and just feel all your energy. And yeah, time to go giraffe hunting.
Let's go. No, it's definitely going to be awesome. Like I said, I definitely think that was a cool message, and I'm looking forward to seeing you compete live in Atlantic City. And again, thank you so much for taking the time, especially so close to your fight.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thanks so much, Kevin. Great interview, and look forward to seeing you there.